Good morning. How you doing? It is Friday morning, y'all. This is 1100 WSG. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and this is one street over. I had to just remind you it's Friday, just in case you forgot. Ooh, kiddos, 1 week left in school. I'm so excited. I know y'all are too. And really, and the reality of it is, if you're in high school, we've got today is a normal day. If you're in high school in Robertson County, today's a normal day. Monday's a normal day. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll be taking we're on block. So Tuesday, you've got third and fourth block finals. Wednesday, you got first and second block finals. And if you, in our school, at Greenbrier, if you bring a note from your parents saying that you can leave half day on Wednesday, you can scoot on out of there. And then we'll stay, teachers will stay, and we'll, get things done that need to be getting done and get the grades in. And then if you're missing something Wednesday afternoon or Thursday is a makeup day, but then Friday, you come get so you don't have to come to school for the second half of the day on Wednesday. As long as you got a parent note, you don't have to be there Thursday unless you're missing something. And then on Friday morning, you come by and get your report card if you want to. And then we're all done for summer. Oh, it's so much fun. But now the little kids, middle schools, elementary, I'm not really sure how it all works with you guys because I know y'all kind of go all week, I think, and then have a half day on Friday. Somebody have to clarify that for me in comments because I don't know how the middle school and the elementary works. But graduation for Greenbrier is on Monday night on the football field. I know Springfield graduated last night. Phoenix Academy was Wednesday night. Tonight, East Robertson, I think. What do you do? Okay, Chris Villines is with me. He is from StayPositive.news. And so I know, I'm wanting to say I think it's East Robertson tonight, and then we got Joe Burns, and then Heritage. White House Heritage tomorrow night. I know White House Heritage tomorrow night because Muriel Bonnet is one of my besties, and she just retired from there. And then Greenbrier is then on Monday night, and then that's it. That's all of Robertson County. All these, seniors all graduated and doing great. And I was telling Chris as I sat down, I had just the sweetest letter from one of my students yesterday that just got me all emotional. And I'm just telling you, I just haven't, in a good way, but it's got me contemplating all kinds of things. I'm telling you, this teaching stuff, whew, it gets you. It's just, I've got several kids that, I've been with since I've started, and I'm just going to miss them so much. It's hard. Yeah. I'm like, dog, you got to come see me. I had one of them, I said, you're going to come around some, aren't you? He goes, no, ma'am. I said, really? He goes, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be busy, Yeah. And I think he's just being facetious. I think he's just messing with me. How are you doing today, Chris?
Good.
Hold that microphone to you there, my friend.
Kind of a little closer there.
You can slide that little.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Well, and I'll tell you, Chris is the writer for all things sports that is on StayPositive.news. They just had their big birthday. They've been at it a year. Yep. And so that's how we got started talking. But Friday's the only day he's available, guys. So we do Faith Friday segments, but he's a brother in Jesus, and so we'll talk some faith stuff too. And I'm just telling you, we're seeing. He and I were talking about just one of the things that this student mentioned to me is how I helped her with her faith. Because just when you're talking to a student one-on-one, if they ask you spiritual questions, you can work with them on that. And, because she knew I had worked in ministry before I came to the school, she was comfortable talking to me about that stuff. And so, we were able to kind of work through some stuff, but I don't know. I'm really seeing revival in some of the college campuses and things like that. And I just have such a hope for revival with our kiddos. And I see a lot of sports teams through FCA getting a renewed faith. And that just gives me so much hope and encouragement. I read some of your articles, your sports articles, and there's a faith message there. Sure. And so I say all that to say, yes, we can talk sports on Faith Friday. So there you go. And we got to talk about my softball girls. We're so excited for them. And I know nothing about softball. Bless their hearts. I've been trying to get to a game all spring. I finally got to the one when it was drizzling the other night, and they shut out Hume Fog. Is that the? Yeah. And they shut them out. Yeah. Praise the Lord, because it was drizzling and it was getting cold. But, it was so cool. And then they had to face off against Macon County Wednesday night. and they had just played Macon County last Friday and beat them pretty handedly. But one of the girls that's on the team, she's in my homeroom, my cat time. And I asked Lizzie, I said, y'all beat Macon County really? She goes, yeah, but they're good. And she goes, they didn't play well. I was like, oh. And sure enough, they were down like 7-2 or something at one point.
Yeah.
And then they just came back. And I mean, just only won by 1 run. And, they're so excited. They're so excited because tonight is I don't understand how they've structured it. It's like a sectional.
Yeah.
It's a sub-state sectional.
Yeah.
So they're not, even though they are the region champs. When I grew up, if you're a region champ, you went to state.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't basketball.
Yeah.
But now you have sub-state. So if you're a region champs, now 2 region winners are playing tonight, but we get to host
Lexington.
And, yes, we're playing Lexington. I'm quite familiar with Lexington. The first radio station I worked at outside of I worked at the college radio station, WFHC, there at Freed-Hardeman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was the news director there for years. And when the summer before I came to Nashville, I worked at a little station in Lexington. Can't remember the name of it, but just for a summer. Yeah. And then came to Nashville. But Lexington is like right there in the area around Henderson. Yeah. And Jackson right up in there. So they're having to travel a bit to come to us.
Oh, yeah.
So yay. So that gives us an advantage. Yeah. But now I'm a little concerned about the rain tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And talking to their coach, I was talking to her yesterday, the plan is if for some reason the rain pushes us out tonight, it will be moved to tomorrow because they got to get this done because whoever wins will be in the state tournament starting Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So there's no more double elimination. Once you're beat, you're beat. Yeah.
That's it.
And so it's very exciting for our Lady Cats. I've been calling girls softball. No, it's the Lady Cats. And I'm getting it straight. But it's tonight. And if it's not rainy, you'll be able to get out and see that. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to be at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, as you see on my shirt. And I want to encourage everybody to come out to that. That is happening tonight. Let me just go ahead and put that up there. And this is rain or shine because they've got the barn fixed now. It's so cool. They have our barn fixed to where if it's raining, we can all go inside the barn and they just open the doors and the band just has to turn around. It's awesome. Oh, they have retrofitted that old tobacco barn. It's awesome.
Down at the bottom of the hill there in Ross Plains. Yes, beautifully.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the barn, they had it before. If we had rain, when we first started the festival, I've been a part of it every year. I've been so blessed. They had invited me early on to get involved with this. And if it rained, we would go to East Robertson to the auditorium.
Yeah.
And that was good. I mean, it was really some really good shows. It was a lot of fun. But the feels of being out in, nature and in that, it's just like a natural amphitheater, the way that comes down the hill. It's just beautiful down there. And in that old barn, it's just a beautiful setting. So you don't want to leave that. And so now we don't have to because they put up some tents. So you've got some coverage out on the lawn if it's just drizzly. Yeah. But if it gets to where we have to get under cover, the audience can go now inside the barn and you can get a pile of people in there.
Oh, yeah.
And they just open the doors and the band turns around because until this year, the band would have to go inside the barn and then people would start stacking up in front of the band. And some people, couldn't get in. Yeah. And I'm sure, our goal is to get to where we're so big that there's no way we can get everybody in the barn, but that's okay. We're just going to figure it out every year, but we're going to have a barn dance tonight. We've got the fiddle competition, the Dan Kelly Memorial Fiddle Competition and musical competition is happening tonight. $10 ticket will get you in all weekend tonight and tomorrow night, but we'll be talking more about that. I got my shirt on today. I had Barry Richards and David Mitchell in yesterday that talked about it, and anyway, just so much going on this weekend. What have you got going on this weekend?
Oh, man. Well, I'd love to come by the festival.
Oh yeah, you should.
Just beyond the barn there, up on the hill is the rocked Kilgore Cemetery.
Yeah.
And that's the Kilgore Villines Cemetery. So that
really.
Yeah.
So you've got that. Oh yeah.
I've got a lot of ancestors buried in that cemetery.
Oh my gosh.
I mow that cemetery.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, you definitely. Have you ever been to the festival?
Yes.
Oh, it's good.
Been a while.
Well, this is the year. You ought to go.
Yeah. And I know David well. David's an old Greenbrier guy.
Yeah.
Graduated a year or two ahead of me.
David graduated at Greenbrier?
Rich Top Ramblers, David Mitchell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I had it off. He's mad at me. I was there. So I was like, David, tell me your last name. I just went completely blank. You know how you sometimes just have this brain blurb?
Yeah.
You know, I got kind of concerned. I thought, I've known David a long time. That's a little concerning. But that I couldn't get it out. And he looked at me just so disgusted. But I'm so sorry, David. You know I love you. But I only really see him once a year. You know what I mean? So I'm not around him a ton. But nonetheless, I did not realize, and maybe he's told me he graduated at Greenbrier, but I don't think we've had that conversation because I'm just at the end of my second year. Yeah. So that's interesting. Mm-hmm. That is interesting. I'm going to have to hit him up about that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So, very good. So that's cool. But it's a good time. It is a wonderful time, and if you've not been, we just invite you to come out. It's gonna be awesome tonight. We're looking forward to it.
I'm sure Barry will be there.
Barry Richards. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's one of the. They have the board that David and Barry, and I think that Larry and Cheryl Chun are on the board now too. Mm-hmm. I know that of course Space Stubblefield. Mm-hmm. It was apparently her brainchild. They were talking about that yesterday. This is something she really wanted to do. And she's the one who said, hey, we need to do this. And what I love about it, David was talking a little bit about Dan Kelly's vision to have some kind of a fiddle competition or some kind of a competition for these kiddos, because there are all kinds of competitions. I can't think of the one. When I was running for office, there were a list of places we had to go when we were campaigning. And there's one big, huge music competition in some little low town way out yonder. And I can't remember what the name of it is, but I was like, why are we not doing this closer to Nashville? And Robertson County is perfect.
Yeah.
And so I love that they see that vision. I love that Springfield and the Historical Society put on a festival, just a few weeks ago that kind of set the tone. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that's going to be a continuation, because I really think as a county, if we build that, they will come, right? Uh-huh. And so I think that's what they're working toward. But that I'm so excited that we've got that competition and all those things that are going on. And we got the festival this weekend. There's a lot of young performers that are going to be on it's just going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
And why would you not want to come to Robertson County?
Of course.
Cross Plains. I'm
beautiful.
biased, because that's where my parents are and kind of our hub.
It's beautiful.
But, it's a neat place.
That's why so many people are moving.
Southern Living had Cross Plains as it made the list of one of the top 20 places to visit in the South or something along that lines.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, there's all kinds of things going on, and the Seeds of Hope garden tour, I need to, maybe we'll mention that a little bit here and just a little bit, talk a little bit more about that. You need to get tickets. It's for the Martha Song fundraiser. And so, we want to remind you about that. And I'll pull up the information here in just a minute. But there's just so many things we're going to talk about today. But we do have Chris in-house as a guest. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
Well,
what have you got for me?
We've got Robertson County sports.
Okay, let's talk.
You're talking about Greenbrier softball and how they're a step away from the state. Same is true for Joe Burns.
Okay.
Joe Burns softball is a step away from the state. They play Whitwell. They go to Whitwell.
Okay.
Which, if you don't know where Whitwell is, that's down in Marion County, I believe, down near South Pittsburgh and going toward Chattanooga. So a little bit of a trip for them, but Joe Burns having another great year. They're seeking, I think, their third straight appearance in the state tournament.
Oh, that's exciting! Yeah,
and doing really well. East Robertson, just a step away from making the state in baseball. They went to South Pittsburgh for their sectionals and wound up losing the third game yesterday to them 6-4. So that ended East Robertson's season, but they had another great year, just short of the state tournament, which they made the state tournament last year and they won the state before. But they started out kind of on a rough scale this year, but improved steadily along the way and just got one step shy going to the state tournament.
So close.
Yeah.
So close. Yeah.
Heritage baseball. Heritage is #1 in the state in their class in baseball.
White House Heritage?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Awesome.
#1 in the state.
So what's their next game?
They've made the state tournament.
So they're in.
They're in.
Okay.
Heritage
Very good.
is
Good
in.
luck. God bless y'all.
Yeah. Heritage soccer plays tomorrow for a chance at a berth in the state tournament.
Okay.
Oh
wow. Okay.
They're
yeah, you forget about soccer still going. I didn't know we had any active still in soccer here in Robertson County.
Yeah, Heritage is
cool.
the one soccer team that's still going.
Mm-hmm.
And Springfield has a young lady who has qualified for the pentathlon.
Summer.
I
think it's her
Summer
name.
Ryan.
I'm not. I think it's.
I just.
My husband has had. He has done a little bit with her with shot put and disc. Because I think she's doing shot as part of that. I'm not sure. I wanted to say her name's Summer.
Rain Erickson.
Rain. Maybe it's Rain. Okay, I'm sorry.
Erickson.
I'm sorry, Rain.
Yeah.
I knew it was something.
Yeah.
Summer, Rain, something. Yeah. My husband's going, stop. But yes, and they say she is a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And she's really good at high jump. That was one conversation that my husband had with her. I don't know if it was shot put and disc. She did one or the other, and he was like, "Well, he goes, boy, you could really, do something great with the other." And she goes, "Well, but I wouldn't be able to do high jump. I think is what it was." And so she didn't want to steer away from one field event to do the other, but she could do one. I can't remember which one it was, but he was trying to work with her a little bit, and. I'm telling you, Rain is, they say, go Rain. Rayne. Okay.
Yeah. I've been messaging back and forth with Anne Marie Cobb. She's the coach there. And
yes.
She was talking about that Rain is a transplant from Kansas.
Cool.
She moved here her sophomore year.
Awesome.
Anne Marie has coached her in volleyball and track. And
cool.
Just talking about and she's played basketball, she said, too.
Just an exceptional
and she's
athlete.
already graduated from Austin P with her associate's degree before graduating from high school.
So she is a senior. So she graduated last night.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I hate we didn't get her back for another year. Boy, that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew she was in that, what did you call it? A tribe something?
Pentathlon.
A pentathlon. What in the world is that?
There are 5 events in a pentathlon. I actually had that up at one time, but let me go where I had that.
So has she competed yet or no? I was thinking she'd already competed.
I don't think so. So.
But
yeah, she's a high school pentathlete.
Phenom. Yeah, she's amazing.
Okay, Tennessee High School Pentathlon. It's 100-meter hurdles, shot put, high jump, long jump, and 800 meters run.
Okay.
So those 5.
Yeah. Shot put then was what they were talking to Mark about. But, that's just, I love seeing these amazing athletes. We've got one, I can't remember the young lady's name now, that is our salutatorian at Greenbrier that's on the softball team. And she is phenomenal. And I mean, I've never really been around her in school, so I don't know her, but man, I was watching her on the softball field and she's amazing. And just so many kiddos like that. What is her name? Her name's Caitlin. Yeah. Caitlin Dillard. Yeah. Caitlin Dillard. Yeah. Phenomenal softball player and our salutatorian. So athletic and smart too. That's quite a combination because the athletics takes so much time.
Oh yeah.
And for you to say Rain had gotten her associates, because we had several at Greenbrier, one that I'm super close to that got her associates as well before graduating. And oh my goodness, to be able to do that kind of thing and to keep up the athleticism as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so cool.
Discipline.
That's so cool. Here we are at the end of the year and all these sports still going on. Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool. So state tournaments next weekend for softball and baseball, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I think softball starts on Tuesday and baseball I have no idea. But
the spring fling, they call it.
Is that
year.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So anything in as far as athletics moving forward, once all the spring tournaments are done, then we're kind of in a dead period for a little while.
Yeah.
And because they're doing football prep right now, and then they'll have a dead period, and then they pick. I think it's about a month. Is it a month?
Something like that, and then they'll start the football practice for football.
Yeah.
And, the fall sports will kick back up when school starts back.
In a minute, we'll be back in, y'all.
Oh yeah.
It goes so fast.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Dr. Causey, last year we were getting ready for summer, and I told him, I said, I'm not going to know what, because I've worked in radio or some, pretty high stress job, except for when I was at the church. And I don't know, that's a dawn. If you've never been on a church staff, you have no idea. It's just, it's constant.
Yeah.
You never feel like you're not on call. Because it's Jesus's.
Yeah.
You don't want to ever, because that's what it is, And so it's a very hard thing to keep your life in balance when you work in a church. And so I had that after radio. So I've just been, like this. I mean, I took 2 weeks off when my children were born. That's it. Wow. You don't take time off because if you do, somebody will replace you. And I mean, it's so competitive, the radio industry and the broadcast industry. So coming out of that, and being given the opportunity to take some time off in the summer, I told Dr. Causey last year, I said, I don't know what to do with myself. And he goes, it'll be like a long weekend. And he was right. Because you've got things you're getting ready for next year, and you've got things you want to do in your classroom, and you've got professional development days, and I'm going to school myself. And it will be back in school. They're already talking about stuffing the bus to get ready for fall. So,
oh wow,
but yeah, well, United Way was in yesterday.
Were they really?
Yeah, and that's already something that we're looking at fall. Going, okay, we got to get volunteers together for tutoring and programs with the kiddos and just all the things. So it's just all the things all the time, right? But Chris Villines, I got it.
Yeah,
Chris Villines is with me. He is with StayPositive.news. And how are things going with StayPositive.news?
Great. We celebrated our first birthday. We had a big birthday bash on Monday. Had a good turnout for that. Cake and a lot of pomp and circumstance there. It was fun. A good time. We had it at the new event place where Donnie Eden, his company now resides there. I'm going blank on the name of it right now, and I'm going to get slapped for that. But but we had a good turnout for that, and Donnie and Jamie Nixon and Rachel, Allison all said a few words, and had some folks that just talked about how much Stay Positive has meant to them, and we had a good time, and we hope for many more years.
Did Miss Mabel show up?
Miss Mabel, yes, Miss Mabel showed up. I
love Miss Mabel
in a form.
I saw some pictures. Yeah. I figured.
Yeah.
And that was a fun image.
That was a highlight of the event.
Yeah, for sure.
Miss Mabel, who had miraculously grown a mustache.
That's great. But it is fun. If you've not checked out StayPositive.news, it's just an opportunity for you to see some positive things in the world and not have to deal with. I honestly and truthfully, I have friends that still watch the news. And I know we got to stay up to date. And before I kind of turned away from all things political, and I was pounding the pulpit. We got to stay engaged. Yes, we do. But the most engaging thing we can do is getting involved in our hot mess of a community and loving on people and making the change from within. The kind of thing we've been doing down in Mexico, we need to be doing here. And that's, changing our communities from the inside out. And so definitely vote, stay involved, know who you're voting for, know what's going on, be aware of it, but give it to God, trust, and just do what you can from your space. That's what and so that's why I like things like Stay Positive News, is because when I need to know what's going on and some positive things going on. And it's just nice. It's just nice to open it up and to see what's happening and to just get a little bit of encouragement instead of all the heavy. Instead of telling our kiddos the sky is falling, telling them the sky is the limit.
Yes.
Just go look at the positive things.
Yeah.
Because it's there. It is there. I'm looking at this. What is this about the Braves?
Yeah.
What is this about?
Yeah,
I'm looking at this. I'm not a baseball person, but I know there's a lot of them. They're going to be going, what?
Yeah.
What is this about?
Well, Tom Glavine and Steve Avery, who were really two of the great pitchers from the 1990s era Braves. That's when the Braves started really ascending. In the 80s and 70s, the Braves were laughing stocks for most of the time. They were not a good team. And then in the early 1990s, they started winning and picking up players like Tom Glavine and Steve Avery and Chipper Jones and some of the folks who are now legendary in lore. So Tom Glavine and Steve Avery were two of those pitchers who were instrumental in that run and helped them win the, I forgot how many division titles they won in a row, but they also won the 1995 World Series. So Steve and Tom are going to be at Shep's Cards and Collectibles tomorrow in Hendersonville, starting at 12:30 for meet and greet, autograph signing. You can get your photo taken with them. Now it's not free. These are retired players, and they have to supplement their income. Yeah. So this is a way to do that. So all of the details on cost and everything is in the story, but this Shep's Cards and Collectibles over in Hendersonville has had many a top sports star in their business that you can meet. I mean, this is just the latest example of. They've had Earl Campbell, the great football player, in there before. They've had Ricky Henderson, who many people might remember from the Oakland A's, all-time stolen base leader, and they've got more events probably coming up in that frame. But you can go, and if you don't have anything that on you to sign, the Sheps has little mini Braves helmets, and they'll have baseballs and other items to sign. And also, if you have something that you've gotten signed before, some type of autograph, they can authenticate it in there to make sure it's legit, and they can appraise it, see how much it's worth. I have a Hank Aaron autographed baseball at home. I never have known how much it's worth. I want to take it by there and see what they say. And I have a Roger Staubach framed football jersey with his signature on it. And that was given to me as a gift, and I don't know how much that, I'm just curious what the worth of something like that would be. So they can do that for you. That's the event coming up tomorrow. I
know Jason really well. Jason Shepard is the owner of that store. He actually was a preacher in his other life and was our preacher. He was actually the youth minister at our church for a while, and then became the preacher. Dear friend, just a dear friend. And so real tickled to see Sheps doing so well. That was just kind of one of those things. He just, even when he was as soon as he came in as youth minister, I knew he had this thing about collecting stuff, and he tickled me. He was so funny, but he's just a great guy, guy. So if you haven't been by Sheps, go see Mr. Jason Shepard, and he might even preach you a little sermon. No, I think he's hung up his pulpit shoes.
Free plug for Sheps. They're over on Glen Oak Boulevard. They're across the highway, so to speak, from the hospital, Hendersonville Hospital. If you've ever been to the Music City Diner over there in that little strip center, which is a phenomenal place, you need to go there if you haven't. They're in that little strip of center there.
Very cool. Very cool. So go by Sheps this weekend and check that out and get something signed by Tom Glavine and Steve Avery. So
starts at 12:30. Jason did, recommend if you could, maybe get there a little early and get in line. He anticipate a large turnout for that. So
well, that's pretty cool. I love that. We're talking with Chris Villines. He is with StayPositive.news. Yes, this is Faith Friday, but we can talk about sports and encourage. This is the only day he is available is on Friday because he's a working guy and has a day job.
That's right.
And so this is when he is free. Now, we'll kind of a programming note. Typically, the third Friday is when we have Rachel Culver in. She was unavailable this week, so we had you on the schedule for next week, so we flipped them. Rachel will be in next Friday. And so Rachel, we get into some deep deep spiritual conversations. I mean, oh my goodness, we just woo, we get deep. But it's always fun because she's just so anointed. I just love listening to her and talking and studying with her. She'll be here next week, guys. Let's go ahead and pause and let's take a break. I love that you guys have as one of your sponsors for StayPositive.news, Cumberland Connect. I just love that. It's wonderful. They're one of my absolute favorite things to be able to have lived with terrible internet and to finally have connectivity that is wonderful. It is just wonderful. And I cannot say enough about, if you are a Cumberland Electric customer, you're going to have access to Cumberland Connect. It's just a matter of time. They don't have everybody connected yet up in Sumner County and some of the other counties. I think Robertson County, they're pretty much there. You can give them a call or you can get online at cumberlandconnect.org. You put in your address and it will tell you, hey, we're already ready to connect you, or we'll be there by this projected date. You can also give them a call. Their customer service is just fabulous. 800-987-2362, 800-987-2362. We've all had horror stories with other internet providers and not being able to get in touch with anybody. Oh my goodness. I get so tired of the recorded messages, beep for frequently asked questions. You can't get a real person, but I mean, it doesn't take much to get a real person on the phone at Cumberland Connect. I mean, they do have the prompts as well, but nothing like anybody else I've ever had to deal with. And every time I've called, very quickly I can get somebody on support. Mine was running a little sluggish, and I was like, okay, I think there's something up. Maybe my modem's getting, and all it needed was an update. Just like your phone needs an update. The equipment you have in your house might need an update. They ran it while I was on the phone. Man, I was flying like an 800 upload speed. As soon as it took a couple of minutes. It was crazy. It's one of those things too. If your power goes out and you've got a generator, you can plug your modem into the generator or battery backup. My son that's an electrical engineer, last time power went out, he goes, you can have a battery backup for that, Mom. I'm like, well, can you please get me one? Help me out, hook me up. And so we're going to do that. It's amazing because that connectivity is so important for folks that live like me, very rural. When the power was out last week with the storms, we didn't turn the generator on. I couldn't even make a phone call, y'all, because I'm used to having my cell has to connect. It goes through the internet to boost my, to make that connection. And without my server, I got nothing. Now that might be a reason why I might want to I've been thinking about maybe getting a landline back. Cumberland Connect can help me with that as well. They're awesome, wonderful to work with. If you're a Cumberland Electric customer, you're going to have access, and they're also a sponsor of StayPositive.news. You can reach out to them again, 800-987-2362, or cumberlandconnect.org. If you need some help financially, they have an affordable connectivity program that can help qualifying households with up to $30 per month to help pay for broadband services, and they have packages starting at, guess what, just $30 per month. When you get in touch with them, please always let them know that U-Turn sent you. And as we get back into the show, yes, Ridgetop Ramblers singing in behind us there. David Mitchell was here from the Ramblers yesterday talking all things Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. It begins tonight with the competitions for the kiddos. And then tomorrow, the music starts at 11. It's going to be a great time. Cutter and Cash and the Kentucky Grass. These are kiddos that have just been on the Grand Ole Opry. They're so awesome. We've got Tri-State Ramblers. She's my sister. The Brown girls, they are Reagan and Amelia. And I love these young people that are out there playing music. Yeah. And if you've not seen Larry and Cheryl Chun, oh my gosh, they're so good. And it's like Larry says, I get paid to dance on the radio because they're part of the Grand Ole Opry dance.
Oh, okay.
Vloggers.
Okay.
And so they're part of this weekend. They'll be there tonight running all the competition with the kiddos and the barn dance and all that's going on. We're having a fish fry tonight too, by the way. And Green River Review will be there tomorrow. It's just, of course, Ridgetop Ramblers. They're always there. But it's just going to be awesome. Kilgore Station, kilgorestation.com. You can go and check it out. Great time. I am so excited to be there again this weekend. Rain or shine, they've got tents and things like that. But bring your lawn chair. You're going to want to bring your lawn chair. But it's good. It's a good time. Going to see you there? Going to try to make it?
Going to try to make it.
Awesome. Good deal.
Make it. Go to while you're there, go on the way, stop at Thomas Drugs, get you a good milkshake.
Yeah, that's a fun place. If you've not been in Thomas Drugs, I just love that.
A lot of
place.
history.
There's so many fun things to just go check out, and it's a fun little town. It's a fun little town. So you grew up in Cross Plains?
No, I didn't grow up
said
there.
your parents are
my,
there.
My parents are both from there.
Oh,
Grew up
okay.
there. Both graduated from East Robertson.
Okay.
Our old family home is there. The Villines Inn was it's built in 1819.
Is it still there?
The old house is still there.
It was called Villines Inn.
It was called the old Villines Inn. And,
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But a lot of stories from
bet.
Jesse James.
Of course he did. Jesse James was everywhere around here. Of course he did. I knew you were going to say that. Jesse James stayed there, didn't he?
He stayed there.
Isn't that fun?
And
I love it.
It was the post office in town. My grandmother was the postmaster for 30 years there in town, and there was a wing of the old house there that used to serve as the town post office.
That's so cool.
She would literally walk, a few steps to her job every day.
That's so cool, though. That is so cool. I love that. That is neat. Neat story. I love history. Oh, love history. And it is just so fascinating. That's one of the things I love about the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival is the history behind Kilgore and all of those things. Well, we live on a property here that we don't really know a whole lot about it, but we know that it was part of a land grant give to Humphrey Hogan, maybe I think he was one of the long hunters in the Revolutionary War, and or the long guns. What did they call them? I think
long hunters.
Long hunters was it long hunters? He was one of those guys, and he was granted. He was given the land that is our land was part of it that we live on now. And I think it was like a 500 or 600 acre. So all of that land right in there on Carrs Creek and Sulphur Fork right there would be part of it. But when we moved out there was a cabin that I don't think anybody knew was there. And we spent so much money trying to restore that. It was full of termites. And it was starting to collapse. We had to dismantle it. It just broke my heart. But we couldn't keep people out of it, and we thought it was going to fall on somebody's head. I mean, we just did not have $100,000 to put into it. And I think it's what it would have taken to have gotten it together. And we spent an awful lot, but we didn't have that kind of money. But we finally had to take it down. But so we know there was just a rich history there. And the chimney's still there. I just don't, and it's collapsed in a little bit, but I just don't want anybody to touch it. I just want to let's just leave it. Yeah. And, cause it's just part of, who knows who put that together, I would love to know more history, but I love it. I think we just don't, we forget so much if we don't look back, don't sit in it, but learn from it and move forward, man, but it's fascinating stuff. That's cool that you got that rich history there. That's cool.
This whole county's steeped in history.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
You can go to any town here, and it's just, they all have a story. Ridgetop was once it was a retreat.
It was a resort.
For the wealthy.
Yeah.
And, it's just neat how each town has its own identity, in a way. Yeah,
one of my best friends, she has a house on the ridge overlooking. It's like going to the Smokies. Yeah, you see why? Because her she has just an estate. It's so pretty, but it's just you just look out and you feel like you're in the Smoky Mountains. It's just gorgeous. And I'm like, well, yeah, this is why. Because you would have come out of the bowl of Nashville and come up into Ridgetop and to be cooler.
Yep.
And so it's just gorgeous there.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was driving down 41 all these years, had no idea that just perched right there was this beautiful scenery, just gorgeous. And that's the reason why the Baggots have got that house up on the hill.
Right.
I'm gonna say that's why Grandpa Jones built it there, because that's who originally built that. Yeah. So. But anyway, so fascinating. We love Robertson County. We got so many fun things going on. Chris is here to talk about all the good news going on with staypositive.news. Staypositive.news. You need to follow them, find them, read their stories, the sports stuff he is responsible for, and some other things too. But we just want to encourage you to go check that out and be a part of that, and just all the things going on. Let me do another one of my breaks. We've been talking about Barry and Rebecca. I've been stealing their ad for the last 2 or 3 weeks to talk about Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, but we also always mention that when it comes to real estate, they're just awesome. When it comes to the knowledge that they have, not just of this area, they specialize in Robertson County properties because they're cross-Plainians. They've been there 30 years, pretty much, pretty close to it. And but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky because they're from Kentucky. And Barry has this rich marketing background. He was for 17 years vice president of a media marketing company and knows so much about the audio and video and drones and walkthrough tours and how to market something to where people are going to see your property. It's going to pop and see it in the best light. I call him all the time with questions from my audio video class because he helps me out with equipment because he's worked with it so much more than I have. And to have somebody with that kind of knowledge, man, it's just priceless in the real estate market, and they can mentor you if you want to be a realtor. That's something that they love to do is to bring somebody in. And he was telling me there's actually a program now, the CTE kind of funding where we're doing career education. They're bringing real estate education into it, so kids can get that education, kind of like they can go and do dual enrollment classes and get them, at a discount or free even sometimes. Like they're doing the Austin P, where they're graduating with their associate's degree. I just love that we're doing this for our kiddos, but real estate is going to be a part of that where they can become a realtor.
That's great.
And one of my kids from last year, I ran into at Publix, and he was saying that he's going into real estate. And what a great, one of the girls that's graduating this year, when I had her in the fall, she was talking about her interest in real estate. Oh. And it's just, they get it. It's something that you maybe don't want to do it full time. You might decide you want to. Rebecca, she was a radiologist, started doing it part time. She was like, I'm going to do this full time. And so she's been at it a long time now, but one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. Can't say enough about the Richards. They'll be at the festival tonight. Tomorrow, of course, you can come and talk to them. You can always reach out to him. He has the brokerage office here on the downtown square. She has the office that's up in White House. They've combined those two to be Exit Prime Realty, still part of the Garden Gate team. They're just a new branch in the tree. Exit Prime Realty, Barry and Rebecca Richards. You can call Rebecca 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. And when you talk to them, please let them know U-Turn sent you and go and see him at the festival tonight and tomorrow. We'll see you there as well. I want to mention the Martha song, the Seeds of Hope. Let me pull it up here so I don't mess it up. This is the Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. And what this is, talking about all the cool places around Robertson County. Oh, yeah. This is a chance to go out and see some of the wonderful garden spots. Bart Bernard Farms is part of this. We have got Kevin Mead and Darren Richardson. They're going to have their garden open, which is absolutely gorgeous. Hancock Family Farms, they're going to be open for you to go and visit. The Woodard Garden on Gardner Street. Just all kinds of beautiful stops, and you buy tickets, and then it's a self-guided tour, and you go and you learn from these folks that have got these beautiful gardens that we all want. Oh, South Central Growers, getting a behind the scenes tour at South Central Growers. They're so cool, but all kinds of wonderful stops, and we'll keep talking about it. But it's on June 8th. But you need to go ahead and get your tickets right now, and then it's a self-guided tour. You're going to have a great time. It is just the pictures they have of all these beautiful gardens. You want to see them in person, but you can get your song. You can follow them at Martha's Song. Martha's Song. You can find them Martha's Song Foundation on Facebook, and that way you can find them and find all the links there. But we'll talk about them more and more as we get closer in. But I want to remind you to get your tickets at Eventbrite. Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. Seeds of Hope Tour of Gardens. What else you want to talk about today? We've got more sports to talk about.
Yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. And I want to thank all of the schools in the county who provided information and helped me along the way here. Springfield, the Lady Jackets tennis team, has won back-to-back region championships for the first time in program history. And they are playing Collierville, which is over, that's the suburb of Memphis, if you don't know where that is, for the opportunity to advance to the state for the first time ever as a team.
Wow, that is awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. Would you have the coach's name?
I think it's Curtis Holland.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Curtis has been a long time fixture in the tennis scene here in Springfield.
Oh, that's exciting.
But I want to point out some folks there. Emmeline Collins, Anna Davis, and Mallory Powell, Perry Fisher. Those are two doubles teams. They advanced to face each other for for the district championship in doubles this year.
Oh,
the
wow.
Second year in a row that
Wow.
happened. That two from the same team faced each other in doubles for the district championship. And it said this year, Mallory and Perry, they're juniors. They defeated Emily and Anna, who are seniors, to win the district doubles championship.
That's cool.
So
How exciting. See, all these sports we forget about that are going on. We had golf, too. Do we have golf in this
golf is a
spring?
fall sport now.
Okay.
It
Okay,
used
I
to
was
be
thinking-
a spring sport.
Yeah,
When I was in
okay.
high school, I played on the golf team, and it was spring.
Okay.
We have a young man. Speaking of where you went to college,
Freed Hardman.
Freed
In
Hardman.
Lipscomb.
Yep. Daniel Whitman, who is a junior at Good Pasture.
Oh.
He is from Greenbrier, though. His family lives in Greenbrier. His father, Jimmy, grew up here, went to high school, graduated with me. Daniel has committed to Freed Hardman for golf.
Awesome.
So
Very cool.
up and coming, nice game that he's got a lot of promise in his
Very
game.
cool. One of my sons graduated from Freed Hardman and has his master's from Freed Hardman.
Yeah.
So.
Jimmy.
My nephews, all my nephews up in Kentucky went to
Well,
Freed Hardman and have degrees from there.
I spent more than one weekend in Henderson.
Oh, yeah.
Visiting Jimmy Whitman, his father, Daniel's father, who went to Freed, graduated from Freed, and we had some good times there, and would go to Chickasaw and play golf, and
I got in trouble at Chickasaw. We won't talk about it. I was a bit of a wild child when I was in college. We just
well, at that time when we were,
I was a handful.
well, Freed Hardman at that time, if you were wearing shorts on campus, you had to be exercising. You had to be running.
Yeah.
It couldn't be just out willy-nilly.
Yeah. Oh, very strict. And they're still really probably one of the more conservative colleges as far as within the Church of Christ community, because Lipscomb has, lacked some rule. We can go down a rabbit hole here and be talking, woo, my goodness. But I was at Freed Hardman for 3 years, and I have the notoriety to be the first female class president in the history of the college. But I always, say with that, I was also the worst. Because, I did it just to prove to him I could.
Yeah.
Because I was one of these girls, and still am, that I'm like, I'm a girl, but I'm equal, and I have a lot of, that's my family, CFC is, but we don't agree about women's roles. And so when I got to Freed Hardman and just no women had ever ran for class president, I thought, well, I will. And so I did, and I won. But then I was, like I said, I was wild as a buck, and I didn't take it seriously. And my vice president, I wish I could remember her name. She ended up doing all the work, bless her heart, and then she ran for president and was the president the next year. So I was terrible. I was awful.
What years were you at Freed?
I got there in the fall of 80, and left. I transferred to Lipscomb in 83.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there for my first 3 years, and then did the 83, 84 school year at Lipscomb. But much to my parents' chagrin, I was just really just a class or two away from graduating, and got hired to do U-Turn LaVern at Nashville. And I was like, well, I'm doing what I want to do, and I dropped out. I didn't go back and finish at Lipscomb until 2009. So, yeah. Now, my parents were like, you're going to do what? God bless them. They were so patient. But the things we put our parents through, at least I did. But anyway, I'm talking with Chris Villines. He is with StayPositive.news. And what else do you have for us? So is that pretty, because there's not a ton of sports going on, but just kind of wrapping it up. And
well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, another young man who he's not in high school anymore, but has a golf career ahead of him, and that's Tyler Williamson, who went to Greenbrier, graduated from Greenbrier.
Okay.
And Tyler is on the golf team at Maryville. I don't know if it's called Maryville University or Maryville College.
Okay.
But Tyler and his family live over in the Legacy, and Tyler has grown up around that course and around the game, and has done phenomenal as a junior golfer, and now he's playing collegiately at Maryville.
He graduated last year, didn't he?
Think so.
I think so, because I remember us having a really strong, at least I think I do, because I know nothing about golf. I've never played, ever. And, my friend I mentioned that lives up in Ridgetop, she's an outstanding golfer, and she talks about it all the time. Her and her dad play just about every Saturday. And so she talks about it, but I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so I mean, but it's fascinating. I think any sport, anything that gets you active and gets you out and about, let's do it. How about have you tried pickleball?
I was just thinking about that. I have not tried it yet, but I want to.
Yeah.
I know Kilgore Park up in Cross Plains has pickleball courts.
They do.
They do.
Oh, where are they?
They're down near one of the baseball fields or softball fields down there, I think. But they do. They have pickleball courts there.
Oh, how fun! I have a portable pickleball, and I don't know the first thing about it, but we have the Celebrate Recovery at Epiphany on Tuesday nights. And I'm affiliated with Celebrate Recovery. I talk a lot about that. I work with the one at Epiphany on Tuesday nights, and then Wednesday night we're up at Madison. And so they have a youth program and at Epiphany for our Celebrate Recovery, and they get out and play pickleball all the time out in the parking lot. And I was like, that looks fun. So that's what I got for Christmas this year, and hadn't broke it out at all until this past Saturday. And my grandkids were out there. We don't know what we're doing, but mostly just trying to get the balls away from the dogs. But we're going to try to learn because it's something we can all do. Yeah. And so I think it's fascinating. So
my niece by marriage she plays some pickleball, and she said it's kind of like
badminton,
blown up ping pong. A combination of ping pong and
badminton? Maybe no, I don't know.
It's
interesting.
I just know it's fun. I just know everybody that plays it has fun.
It is,
and it's something that's good for maybe older folks too, because there's not so much of a big court and all that, movement. You still get, your activity in, but you're not covering such a wide swath like you would in tennis.
Yeah, and I'm an older folk now. I have my friend, Paul Rainey is always on here in the mornings, and his wife makes all kinds of T-shirts. And I think she has one. It's like, it's weird being an old person. Something like that. It's weird being an old person. We're talking with Chris Villines, and he is with StayPositive.news, talking about all things Robertson County sports, just kind of wrapping it up. Yes, this is Faith Friday. We do want to encourage you to, if you're not part of a body of believers, if you haven't found that congregation where you just fit, keep looking, please. I can't do, and you're not going to find the perfect place. I talk about the things that I don't agree with my fellowship. But that's okay. We are obedient and submission to Jesus, and we have elders, and so I abide by their decisions, even though we don't agree, because they're my brothers, and I love them. And I just want to have a place where I can worship in peace and harmony with my family, and that's what I have found at Madison. And I hope you find a place like that. Where do you worship? Where do you worship?
I go to Mount Pleasant United Methodist Church.
We had that conversation.
Yeah, little country Methodist church.
But see, it's where you have your family. My mother and father, they were at Spring Creek Church of Christ, and I've got a lot of friends. I say Madison is my church family, and Epiphany is my crazy cousins. Epiphany Baptist is my crazy cousins, because I've gotten so close to them. And I've got Jason Ball from Centerpoint is going to be in here. I'm wanting to say the 4th of June, and he's up in Hendersonville. But he is so funny because he is, he's just another one of my preachers that I follow, because I like the way he preaches and things like that. So he's going to come in here, and we're going to talk to him. But then last week I think maybe earlier this week, Monday, I had some people from Madison, Northfield, the Well House, City Point Church, a whole bunch, because they're doing a little situation comedy.
Oh.
Called, y'all need to do something with them on StayPositive.news.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's called Honey Chapel Church, the church office. Yeah, or Honey Rock Chapel Church. Honey Rock Chapel Church, the church office. They have 4 episodes out. It's hysterical. Very, cheesy as all get out at sometimes, but it's hysterical. And they did one of their last ones. It was so funny. I was telling the guys when they were in here, it was about the bread for the Lord's Supper. Mm-hmm. And a lot. And we had this, and it was so funny. At first, when I started listening to it, I was like, well, that's the Lord's Supper. That seems a little sacrilegious. Then I thought, no, what they're talking about, I've been in that meeting where they're like, what kind of bread are we going to serve for the Lord's Supper? And it's like that happens in church offices, man. It's like, well, they're all this argument. the debate over what kind of bread are we going to use.
Bread.
I'm not kidding. And they had a thing, bring back the bread. It was just like, it was so funny.
Get a Hawaiian roll.
Oh, I mean, it's you really, Honey Rock Chapel Church, the church office. You need to check it out. It's funny. But my point is, if you have not found a fellowship, find one this weekend. And I can point you to all kinds of them. I follow all kinds of churches. You're going to get to meet Jason here in a couple of weeks because he's just somebody that I have followed. And I really love his preaching because he used to be a history teacher to middle school. And he's so hysterical. And he brings in that history, he loves history. And so he's just wonderful to listen to. And there's all kinds of wonderful leaders. And David Evans here locally, we love him. Haven't had him on in a while. I think he's avoiding me. No, I'm kidding. He's just been busy. But there's all kinds of wonderful people that you can worship with this weekend. Hope you'll find somebody. So what else have you got to talk about? We're coming up on the end. I got to talk about Veterans Motorplex before we go. But
I'm always looking for good story ideas. And if you know of a good, positive, uplifting sports story, it doesn't have to be contained to high school. It could be anything. Shoot me an email. My email is villines6@icloud.com. So Villines, again, VILLINES 6@icloud.com.
Numerical 6.
The numerical 6.
Yeah, okay.
Or text me, give me a shout. My phone number 615-604-7242. Would love to talk to you. I am working right now on the story on rain.
Good.
We have,
good.
Anne-Marie and I have decided, I said,
that's a great
she told me about her, and I said, that'd be a great story for Stay Positive News. So, so we're going to set that up and do that. But,
there was somebody else. There was something else. I mean, I think you definitely need to check out the Honey Rock. That's so funny. There was something else, too, I had, and I can't remember, and I'll think of it, and I'll point you to it. But have you ever done anything on Recovery Court that we have here in Robertson County?
I want to say we have.
Okay, because Recovery Court, and we're getting ready to have the Recovery Fest, and that's in August. So maybe we definitely need to do something for that. Well, and I mean the guys, they're all involved in it because they're all they're all part of it. So, but nonetheless, I'm sure they'll do something with that. But there's so many wonderful things we need to focus on. Maybe on this radio station, because I'm seriously, because this is something that's what they've put together here with the WDBL and WSGI. I keep saying, this is a worldwide Christian broadcast facility, y'all, right here in the heart of Robertson County. And yes, we have a terrestrial signal that covers the county and the edges of the surrounding counties, but via the internet, it's everywhere.
All over.
It's incredible, guys. I can't say enough. Let me talk about Veterans Motorplex, y'all. Okay, it is a racing weekend, and depending on the weather, you have to keep your eyes on the weather. And we just caution you too. Our, Kilgore Station Festival is rain or shine. We got tents and stuff. The softball games that's scheduled tonight at Greenbrier could get pushed to tomorrow. You just got to keep your eyes on the skies, guys, as far as the weather goes. But Veterans Motorplex, that's one of those things. If it's raining at race time, they can't race. So they may postpone, do whatever. It's very important, if you want to go to the races, that you follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. They kept the old Highland Rim Speedway moniker because they had a great following there, and so they just kept that. But when you get there, you'll see that Veterans Motorplex banner that'll tell you you're in the right place. So follow Highland Rim Speedway. You'll see Veterans Motorplex. They're scheduled to race tomorrow, weather permitting. But a $40 ticket will get up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for one ticket price. $40. Great family value. It is a fast quarter-mile high-banked asphalt bull ring, fun for the whole family. It is family atmosphere, no alcohol served, sold, or permitted on the premises. And so that means you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be very family oriented. They got a great concession stand. Come hungry, enjoy the concession stands. Probably a bunch of kids there working on their first summer job. It is a good time. It's at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. Follow them at Highland Rim Speedway to stay up to date on everything going on at Veterans Motorplex. Always, please let them know U-Turn sent you. All right, we got to wrap it up, Chris.
Yes.
Parting thoughts?
Hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope everyone stays dry. I've got a golf tournament I'm supposed to play in today. And over in Greenbrier.
Okay.
And we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. Mm-hmm. And hope everybody will stay positive. That's
Absolutely. And to all of the athletes still engaged, good luck, and Lady Cats, go get them tonight. And I just hope that game gets to play as scheduled, and that you'll be in the state tournament on Tuesday.
GHS class of '85. Let's go.
Let's go. I love it. Go get them. Thanks, guys, for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. Find a place to worship, y'all.